I think we're ready to begin. So today we'll be presenting superclusters for TWTH, the predictive platform for emerging global supply chains. Our team is Elisa, Anuj, Hui, and Ravi. Today we'll go over our summary, challenge, solution, impact, application, and implementation. TWTH's superclusters and Green Channel form a predictive and sustainable trade infrastructure, combining AI-driven demand forecasting with verifiable low-carbon logistics to help SMEs move from insight to shipment faster and smarter. Emerging export clusters appear rapidly, while data intelligence and logistics execution remain disconnected, often leaving SMEs unable to compete with larger enterprises in taking advantage of these clusters. Our challenge is to design a data-driven, scalable, and cost-efficient strategy to help TWTH identify emerging clusters. We needed to incorporate real-time data sharing and customized logistics solutions while also making global trade more accessible for SMEs by offering integrated export services. Marketing analytics is one of the key features of superclusters. Our system utilizes keyword search data from databases like SEMrush to map the data and predict both the location and size of emerging clusters. SMEs can select high potential markets or products and access map data on predicted emerging clusters. Search frequency and geographic trends of Google searches tell SMEs where these searches are coming from and how they compare to previous data to also predict trends. Keyword search data is a reliable method of predicting demand, as it mirrors purchase behavior. When consumers are beginning to show interest in a product category, the first measurable signal is not purchases, it's searches. Several marketing analytics studies show that search volume correlates strongly with downstream purchase behavior because it reflects active and intentional demand formation. Additionally, keyword analytics catches early signals from consumers that haven't yet shown up in standard supply chain data, like POS, shipment volumes, or retail orders, giving SMEs that utilize superclusters an early mover advantage.
Our solution works as an integrated system with three layers: the eyes, brains, and hands of verified trade. Supercluster is the eyes, continuously scan global data to detect verified export demand before it appears. It let us identify emerging cluster and forecast demand earlier. TWTH Control Center is the brains. It validates AI signals, connects the factories, and manages certification and verifications, ensuring every participant and documents is trusted. The green channel and blockchains are the hands and memories. Verified shipment moves through low carbon routes, with carbon and other records shared security in our private blockchains. Yeah, and these three layers operate in the backgrounds while SMEs only seeing a simple entry points. Using WeChat as an example, the model adapts to local app anywheres. SMEs can send anything directly in WeChat, even messy notes, by forwarding chats with size or packaging details. With no learning curve, the TWTH bots read everything automatically. TWTH processing layer then clean apps into a clear, consistent record that shows what it is complete or missing. When standardized, TWTH can instantly generate any formats: tables, documents, or reports. SMEs upload once, and TWTH handle all future versions.
Let's see the idea in action. Starting at the bottom left, we have our customer clusters, the source of demand. When a sequence of multiple customer orders takes place in the TWTH system, our technology, which is continuously analyzing and forecasting market patterns, instantly identifies these signals and start mapping them to relevant SMEs. This is where the real magic happens. Gauging interest of the supplier SMEs, the platform automatically begins to form SME clusters. These SMEs can see real-time data demand on supercluster dashboard. As the suppliers proceed with uploading their documentation, it is instantly validated through AI compliance agents. At the same time, the system evaluates and activates multiple green channels, choosing optimal trade routes based on lead time, cost, and sustainability metrics. This not only accelerates delivery, but also allows SMEs to promote their products as sustainably delivered. As the process moves forward, real-time data is shared across the system between SME, logistic partners, and customers through single source, ensuring full transparency and efficiency. And behind it all, blockchain and IoT continuously verify shipment data, carbon emission, and transaction integrity across the entire supply chain. Next, when we talk about technology feasibility, supercluster stands out because it's grounded in the system on which TWTH already runs. As we see, TWTH's existing hubs across the world form a ready base for deployment. So the foundation is already there that makes implementation fast, low risk, and cost efficient. Next, our AI system continuously learns from shipment and trade data to predict where new e-commerce clusters will form, proving both the readiness and reliability of the technology. Moving forward with IoT sensors across trucks and warehouses, we can monitor every shipment's carbon footprint in real time. It's not just efficient, but also measurable and auditable. Then each shipment's carbon and customer record is stored on blockchain, eliminating duplication and ensuring compliance across borders. Finally, a cloud native design means every supercluster can add new countries or products without rebuilding the system, reducing deployment time from months to weeks. In short, the technologies already exist, it works and it builds to scale responsibly.
Our solution addresses 5 primary sustainable development goals. The first is Goal 8, decent work and economic growth. Superclusters empowers SDGs to participate in global trade on a more competitive level to large enterprises. Real-time information and an integrative platform allows SMEs to react accordingly, lowering barriers to entry and creating a more equitable global marketplace. Goal 9 is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Superclusters advances infrastructure by integrating AI, blockchain, and real-time market data within an integrative platform. This builds resilient trade by also providing verified manufacturers, which allows enterprises to take full advantage of emerging cluster opportunities. Next is Goal 12, responsible consumption and production. Superclusters predictive forecasting reduces overproduction and resource inefficiency, which are large contributors to global waste. With accurate demand forecasts, SMEs can produce closer to actual demand and prevent excess inventory and overproduction. Our Green Channel network also ensures shipments are made via lower emissions routes. Next is Goal 13, climate action. In addition to reducing overproduction, our Green Channel network ensures climate action is measurable. Every shipment is made through optimized routing and renewable energy options whenever possible. Our system not only minimizes emissions, but also employs environmental accountability as a competitive advantage. The last of our primary SDG goals is Goal 17, partnership for the goals. The supercluster system takes a transparent and collaborative approach to global trade. The open model connects governments, logistics providers, and verified factories in shared ecosystems where real-time information sharing between entities is utilized to accomplish SDG goals and supply chain optimization.
Now let's look at the social impact that make the system real and measurable. First, empowering SMEs. We connect small producers directly with verified buyers and let SMEs operate instantly through apps like WeChat, lower the barrier of interest. Each SME builds a digital trade identity that turns credibility into lasting market access. Second is trust and transparency. Blockchain verification ensures shared, reliable data. Buyer and regulators see the same record, cutting out redundant certification and enable fact-based decision. Third is economy inclusions. Emerging market suppliers get equal access to forecasting and compliance tools. This helps them form trust partnership, create jobs, and build resilient local economies. The last one is low carbon responsibilities. Cluster coordination allows production with real demand and reduce waste. Shared logistics improve efficiency, while verified performance deliver green operation.
Our solution is designed to scale in 3 ways. First, platform scalability. The tech backbone of Supercluster, it's modular, API-driven, and automated. That means it can be replicated anywhere in the world within 3 months. No new hardware, no downtime, just a digital twin blueprint that we can scale sustainably. Second, operational scalability. This is a repeatable playbook. Every cluster follows the same 3-step roadmap using Green Channel model. The 80-20 structure, where 80% is standardized globally and 20% localized, keeps quality and carbon tracking consistent while adapting to local compliances. Finally, business and impact scalability. As clusters grow, revenue per SME improves, cost per shipment drops, while carbon and social impact multiply. Each new cluster reinforces both profitability and sustainability. Together, these 3 layers ensure TWTH can replicate success globally. Here we highlight how supercluster idea directly contribute to measurable carbon reduction between 2025 to 2029. By using predictive clustering and air-to-sea optimization, we reduced air freight emission by 40% and lowered empty returns by 45% through smarter backhaul matching. We also optimized energy use across warehouses and transport routes, cutting idle miles by 18% and integrating renewable energy into our key facilities. As a result, total emission fell by 37% while maintaining delivery speed and reliability. After this, we are now fully aligned with European Union and the United States carbon reporting standards. The same supercluster model is now being replicated across TWTH hubs in Asia, Europe, and Latin America, proving that carbon reduction and scalability can go hand in hand. Our roadmap shows how TWTS superclusters evolve from pilot testing to full-scale global integration. We begin in 2025 with pilot launch phase rolled out across all the current hubs to test that supercluster model with SMEs in sectors like cosmetic, toys, and electronics initially. Early indicator already shows up to 8% lower emission from optimized routing and reduced paperwork. Also, at the stage, we built the baseline CO2 certification and time to market matrices using blockchain tracking. By 2026, we move into regional expansion. Here, the Green Channel framework is scaled to five fastest growing export clusters, and over 1,500 SMEs are onboarded. Finally, in 2027, we reach global integration. TWTH forms data sharing partnership with Exports Hub in North America, Europe, and Middle East, activating blockchain based carbon ledger reporting and open API exchanges. In essence, this roadmap captures how model execution fits into global low carbon logistics framework.
So our risk management framework based on four main pillars: reliability, environmental compliance, and trade data undergo independent verifications with records on the blockchain for tamper-proof transparency. We prefer a strict 72-hour incident disclosure policy. Second is governance, verifications of all users and factories before onboarding, clear policies to ensure that data remains within each country and is only shared with proper consent, oversight, encryptions and continuous monitoring of every transactions on the platform is done. Human review of AI generated outputs to prevent bias and reduce decision-making errors. Lastly, the monitoring, real-time monitoring across all system activities using alerts and suspicious detections to quickly identify threats or errors. Backup data providers and redundant systems will be implemented to keep operations running smoothly during outages or disruption. The multi-revenue stream revenue model is our revenue model is built around five complementary streams. Platform subscription. Initially, access to the platform will be free for SMEs to drive adoptions. Once value is proven at scale, a subscription model for advanced features will be introduced. Transaction-based, transaction fees, automated export documentation, and carbon reporting tied to each shipment will be done. Data licensing. Reliable operation data to access SMEs creditworthiness. We'll sell this data to banks, governments, and market research firms. Green logistics certifications, revenue generated from carbon certification, SME sustainability badges, and CO2 reduction analytics. Supply chain control tower services offer premium capabilities such as route optimizations, inventory reductions, real-time resource alerts, and automated traffic classifications. Then comes to the savings part. So SMEs currently spend approximately $506 per shipment in managing labor, documentation, compliance, and logistics manually. With TWTH, cost drops to just $101, creating total savings of around $495 per shipment. Savings comes from reducing manual labor from $425 to $90 and from cutting documentation effort and compliance errors. Carbon reporting costs are reduced to just $1 per shipment to expand the customer base. This helps SMEs in ways such as to achieve faster custom clearance, gain verified CO2 footprints, and avoid non-compliance penalties. And finally, the clear return on investment. SME spends a substantial amount of time gathering market intelligence, forecasting demand, finding verified suppliers, and understanding new market and conditions. Today, the work usually consumes around 400 hours per year. With our services, this frees up employees' time to do more important business activities. But the financial values go far beyond time saved. TWTH helps SMEs avoid costly mistakes. The platform delivers around $7,000 to $12,000 a year in direct cost savings, plus thousands of dollars per year in time saving from automated intelligence risk-related savings. Better data leads to better decisions and more exports, likely boosting sales.
Here is the incremental financial return generated by the system, beyond TWTH existing 30% organic growth. As verified data attract more partners, trade volumes grow without that margin rising cost. Efficiency and trust translate directly into measurable financial gains. In the conservative case study, adoption delivered about 24% accumulated ROI over 3 years. In the optimistic
You have
case,
1 minute remaining.
yes,
1 minute
stronger
remaining.
engagement lead to around 43%. What matters most is how the system scales. As more user joins, the network effect amplifies. Each new participant increases total value without proportional cost. Over time, transaction rise exponentially while marginal cost stay flat. Yeah, and here's the success criteria measure our success. SMEs growth and activations, time to market reduction, cluster response speed, verified transaction volume, user retention and interaction, low carbon logistic efficiency, carbon efficiency inventory turnover, and certified factory based.
By uniting predictive analytics with traceable green logistics, superclusters and Green Channel transform cross-border trade from reactive to proactive. The result is transparent, data-driven ecosystem where every shipment aligns speed, intelligence, and sustainability. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We're on time. Let's get right into the questions. Richard, you want to start?
Yeah, thank you for that very interesting and comprehensive presentation that touches on so many different aspects. It's um, you know quite interesting. For my purposes, I wonder if you could imagine that I am a relatively unsophisticated manufacturer of, say, cosmetics or something like that in China, and tell me the story of how this would work, for me, in a simplified way. Imagine that I'm a prospective customer. Can you just give me the storyline in layman's terms without a lot of technical language? So, in other words, if I were a TMTH person trying to sell this to a prospective SME, what's the storyline that I would give them?
Sure, I think that's a great question. So overall, our main selling point is that our database is interactive and easy to use. So it's easier for these smaller SMEs to adopt. As Hui was saying, we have the WeChat applications and things like that, and these SMEs are already familiar with using platforms like that. So we're basically using existing infrastructure that they're already used to, and we're combining it with our data and logistics capabilities. So they will have access to our Green Channel network, verified factories, and the supercluster's early detection system to know where these clusters are forming so that they have the early mover advantage to take advantage of them and puts them on a more even playing field with these larger enterprises and makes them more competitive in the market and a more equitable global supply chain.
Yeah, to add to that answer, so suppose a SME don't know anything about the technical technologies or the platform-based business. So we have our correspondents who will go to them and teach them about how to use our platform also. The documentation part, we'll do all the documentation that need to export. They just need to have the product. So we'll be doing all the things like documentation, shipping, and everything from our side. So we'll be helping them with everything.
Yes, and another one of our main selling points is the low adoption cost for SMEs. So obviously an SME is not going to have too much liquid capital to spend on a system like this. So our main selling point is that we not only help them with Green Channel and things like that, carbon verification, but we also save them money in the long run and make it easy for them to adopt in the short run with lower costs.
Lastly, I would like to add, sorry, just to give you a story, like let's say I'm a small SME and I'm already building a product. I will go to the platform. I'll come around the platform and everything is already provided on the platform from end-to-end supply channel. They will help me with logistic, delivering the product to the end customer. Not only I'm already making a product, but the platform gonna suggest me which other product I can start building in my facility as well. That's the real value because I have worked as a SME owner. I never came around any platform which could help me identify those products as well.
So, what is the cost to the SME?
Right now, we are not charging much of the cost, no subscription, nothing. We're just charging for the transactions, for the shipping cost only. We are not charging anything right now. No service charges, no transaction fee, no platform, no subscription, nothing. Our platform they can use for free. Only we are charging for per transaction of the shipment. That is one thing. Second thing, only we are charging only $1 for the carbon report. Because right now, as the European countries are more concerned about this carbon footprint, so we are providing all the documentation. Even we are providing the certifications of for them also, and per shipment carbon footprint also. And we are not charging currently right now to increase our customer base. So once we have sufficient amount of customer base and we are able to reach our break even, then we are going to put some of the advanced features, then we have a like subscription based model after that, not now.
If I understand this, the idea is that all these if I'm a manufacturer of a cosmetic, I don't know anything about logistics or about how to
Yeah.
export or what markets I should be exporting in. I just have a good product, but I don't
Yes.
have anything else. You're going to offer me this in
Yeah.
a simplified form, basically for free, and the return to TMTH will be that it will drive more business through
Yes.
their system so they can charge for the customs clearance and the shipping and all the other related logistics functions that are required to move the product from. Uh,
Yeah. So this is one thing. Second thing is the game changer is the predictive model, because now the SMEs will be building their own product, but they don't know where's the emerging markets are or the new emerging trend products are there.
right.
So because other platforms are based on feed backward control, we are doing the feed predictive models. So we'll even suggest the SMEs to build these trendy products so that they can boost their business also.
But you're going to offer that to them as
Yes. Yeah.
basically a free. Um,
Yeah, initially for free. Then, when we have a bigger user base, then we'll charge something like a minimum base for the subscription models kind of thing.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
We will wait for the SMEs to see the financial justification of this investment first before we start charging them,
So,
basically.
so the upfront capital investment will come from TMTH for this.
Yes. Yes, initially will come from TMTH, and it will not much because we will be building this platform or dash facilities on the top of their existing system. So we'll
Uh-huh,
not charge more. And because I'll be getting more data, so we'll have to put some data centers for our system.
uh-huh.
But we'll not be investing initially. So we'll be in like multiple phases, we'll invest that money.
But somebody is going to have to do this. So
Yes,
you're going
TWTH
to
will
have
do.
to pay those people. There will be some investment because you're going to have to pay those people, and there will be some programming costs and that sort of thing. So there's
Yes.
got
So
this is doesn't exist now, so there's got to be some sort of cost
yeah.
connected with creating it.
There
So
will be, oh, go
that
ahead.
that's a great question. Actually, we did our financial modeling based on everything. So we are actually focusing on the number of users. Go to the appendix, actually, Rebecca, if you see that.
Yes, and as we can see, like
Yeah.
according to the detailed ROI, the initial because TWTH has over past 5 years they have a annual growth of first 30%. And based on this original growth, when we calculate our ROI based on that, which is like we assume like $10 million in investments for the setup and $2 million for the operation, which is based on report by the Shunfeng and Jingdong are the two other larger like logistics business in China. So basically, we assume if DWTH are going to build the system, they will cost almost the same. And even in this assumption, in the most conservative case, like they will return to a positive ROI in the third years, which is when we expand to globally. So because it is only a huge investment in the initial years, and after we fully launch our products, it will give us a accumulated ROIs between 24% to 43%, depending on conservative or optimistic assumption.
And that's based on the increased volume of business, basically,
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
that they would get. So the upfront investment is 10 million for the setup, and then 2 million for what was it? The
So
Operation
operations?
per
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
yeah.
so that 10 million also we are not doing it upfront. So initially we'll invest 6 million initially, then again the 4 million will be in successive years. So what I did actually a modeling, financial modeling for this revenue model, and we will be getting around $6,000 if I consider around 30 shipments for each company a year. So initially, I have taken 600 users. Then I have increased that number by 2030 to 22,000 user base.
Yeah.
And accordingly, I have taken the operation cost also to manage a team of around 10 people who will manage this whole system. So I have to consider that also. And as per the financial modeling, our net positive value is coming positive in 5 years. So, and we will be getting break even in 3 years, 3 to 4 years, we will be getting our break even. So, yeah, initially we'll be losing capital for the first year and second year, but in the third year we'll be having negative cash flow, positive cash flow.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
long-term investment.
Yes.
Once you've covered the initial investment,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
almost everything else will be profit at
Yeah.
that point.
So after we get our
Yeah.
user base, increase user base, and suppose they are getting benefit from our technology, so we'll be charging sufficient price also, and we're not considering that also. And even we haven't considered the amount will be is like selling data to banks, firms. We have not considered that price also. That will be an
Uh-huh.
additional advantage for us
Yeah.
because we have seen like Bloomberg, how Bloomberg has done his
Yeah, yeah.
business by gathering data and then selling to big firms. So
Right.
that will be added advantage of this technology.
So
Yes, and
so your
I'm sorry.
ongoing cost is like $2 million a year, but
Yeah.
the initial cost will be recovered, you figure in a, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing.
And the
And
scalability is another big competitive advantage of ours. It won't cost that much more money to scale this on a larger level and bring in more profits as well.
Because of the
also,
network effect, we can see like we do some research, and this is if it is launched, it will be the first things to do that. And so basically, if we give them free and all the SMEs and factories are willing to use this due to
Yeah.
the network effect, like all the business are willing to use your platform.
Yeah.
So basically, amplify the network effect will make
Right.
the scalability easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
and one
Yeah.
more advantage is
If
that,
there's a certain critical mass, and then beyond that,
yeah,
everybody will have to be on this platform or they'll be
yes,
losing competitively. So I don't know what the tipping point is for this. You're just estimating, what was it, 30? I for, I don't see.
sorry,
Yeah, that number isn't that. I guess that number is somewhere behind this spreadsheet. I do
It
have
is
one other
from
question
financial advice.
um, uh, are out of time. And this goes to there's a sort of an inherent, I don't know what you'd call it, contradiction or paradox in here that we have all these SDG goals, reducing the carbon footprint, and uh, um, making the companies themselves more efficient, um, you know, and the number 12, responsible consumption and production. But the whole purpose of this system is to dramatically increase the overall volume of things being produced and consumed. So on the one hand, you have this efficiency. On the other hand, the absolute number that you're going to be dealing with, if this works, is going to go up dramatically. So how do you reconcile those two things?
I would
Yeah.
argue that they don't go
Actually,
against each other because right now it's not efficient. As SMEs and other organizations are producing for markets that aren't going to end up purchasing those products, and that turns into waste. That goes into the landfills, things like that. So that's not generating profits for SMEs, and that's also not good for the primary SDG goals and for sustainability in general. So what we're trying to do is take that wasted production potential and then turn it into actual profits and less waste because consumers will actually be using these because we are accurately predicting demand and what consumers want. And instead of producing waste and things that people are not going to end up purchasing, we're producing efficiently and things that consumers will actually utilize.
yeah, and actually there's also lag effect. These volumes, they may not be consumed, but they will produce because when the SMEs and factory realize there's a demand happens, they will require to produce the same amount. But when the demand is gone and the things are just stored here and they actually produce more waste and not much waste. Like when people want these products, it does not appear. And when people don't want these products, it just boom up. So it is a waste. And according to some academic and industry report, logistics and factory nowadays is the majority of about carbon efficient and carbon waste. And using our AI and this new system can actually decrease the waste. According to MIT's, by using this somehow like AI and this like the predict systems, it could actually reduce about 15 to 30% in the logistic or carbon emissions and 5 to 8% in manufacturing carbon efficient.
We're also
So,
tackling climate action with our Green Channel network to ensure the shipments are made with lower emissions routes than before. So that also contributes to the SDG goals.
so actually our system can reduce the carbon emission and increase the carbon efficiency.
and
Yeah,
also
we're
like,
out of time. I think we're almost out of time. And
Yeah, we are just about out of time,
yeah, I did have a
so
question about reduce the
yeah,
transportation efficiency, but it's
yeah, I had questions about how it would help the overproduction as well. Somebody's
yeah.
using industrial engineering for I really don't I had some questions about that. So, but we are out of time. So thank you very much for all those answers and for the presentation, and thank you, Richard.
Yeah. Thank you.
The
Thank you for a
Thank
very
you.
interesting and
results to be announced at December
inventive
19th.
presentation. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Best
having
of
us.
luck.
For the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks for
Thank you.
organizing it. Bye bye.
Bye.